The story you're about to hear is not just about pocket change. It's about hidden treasure, American history frozen in metal, and the thrill of discovering that a simple coin you might overlook could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. In the next few minutes, you're going to travel through the birth of two of the most iconic modern U.S. coins ever struck, uncover rare varieties, powerful minting stories, dramatic errors, and real collector demand that drives prices sky high. Keep listening, because the next coin you check might just change the way you see money forever. 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Quarter Dollar coin, D-mint fine condition. When the United States prepared to celebrate its 200th anniversary in 1976, the nation wanted something tangible that every citizen could hold, spend, and remember. The result was the Bicentennial Coinage Program, a bold redesign that touched the quarter, half dollar, and dollar. Instead of changing the date to 1976 only, the mint chose the dual date 1776 to 1976, symbolizing the birth of the nation and the moment of celebration. For the quarter, the familiar eagle reverse was replaced with a colonial drummer, a torch of victory surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original colonies and the spirit of independence. The obverse remained George Washington, but even that portrait received subtle refinements in relief and strike quality across different mints. The Denver Mint, identified by the D-Mint mark, struck hundreds of millions of these quarters between 1975 and 1976. They were released into circulation in massive quantities so that every American could encounter the anniversary in daily life. Because of this enormous mintage, many people assume all bicentennial quarters are common and nearly worthless. That assumption is exactly why hidden gems still slip through collections and pocket change today. In fine condition, a circulated Denver Bicentennial Quarter typically shows moderate wear on Washington's hair and cheek, softer lettering, and a slightly flattened drummer on the reverse. The details are still clear, but the original mint luster is mostly gone. Under normal circumstances, these coins trade close to face value or just slightly above, especially if they are heavily circulated. However, rarity is not always about how many were minted. It's about survival in certain conditions, unique minting characteristics, and error varieties that escaped quality control. One of the top rare and valuable categories within the D-Mint Bicentennial Quarter comes from high-grade survivors. While hundreds of millions were struck, very few were preserved in pristine mint state with strong luster, sharp strikes, and no bag marks. Coins graded MS67 and higher by professional grading services become condition rarities. A Denver Bicentennial Quarter in MS67 can command several $100s, and exceptional MS68 examples have reached into the low thousands when competition among registry collectors heats up. This demand is driven by collectors who attempt to build the highest graded sets possible, pushing prices far beyond what a casual collector might expect from a modern quarter. Another top rarity comes from striking errors and die varieties. One of the most sought-after error types includes dramatic off-center strikes where a significant portion of the design is missing yet the date and mint mark remain visible. These pieces can sell from several $100s to well over $1,000 depending on eye appeal and percentage off-center. Double die varieties, though less common on bicentennial quarters than on earlier coins, do exist. Slight doubling on lettering, especially around the word Liberty or the dual date, can create a collectible premium. When authenticated, these varieties can range from $100 to $500 or more, depending on clarity and demand. Clipped planchets also appear in this series. These occur when a blank is improperly cut from the metal strip, leaving a curved or straight clip missing from the edge. A well-defined clipped planchet bicentennial quarter from Denver can bring $50 to $300 depending on size and visual appeal. Even minor errors such as broad strikes, where the coin expands beyond the collar and lacks a full rim, attract steady collector interest. Design-wise, the bicentennial quarter holds deep symbolism. The colonial drummer evokes the communication and morale of the Revolutionary War era, when drummers carried commands across noisy battlefields. The torch represents liberty and enlightenment, while the 13 stars tie directly to the birth of the nation. This artistic departure from the traditional eagle makes the coin stand out in modern U.S. coinage history and adds emotional appeal for patriotic collectors. From a metal standpoint, the Denver circulation strikes were made in standard copper-nickel clad composition, not silver. Only special collector versions from San Francisco contained 40% silver. This distinction is important because many people mistakenly assume all bicentennial quarters contain silver, which is not true for the D-mint circulation coins. However, even without precious metal content, collector value can still rise based on condition and rarity factors. Mintage numbers for the Denver Bicentennial Quarter exceed 860 million coins, making it one of the highest production quarters in U.S. history. The survival rate of truly high-quality coins is extremely low. Most entered circulation immediately, suffered contact marks, scratches, and wear, and were eventually spent, lost, or damaged. This massive attrition is why top-grade examples command strong premiums decades later. Market value trends show steady collector interest rather than speculative spikes. Common circulated examples remain inexpensive, often selling for $1 or $2 at most. Fine condition pieces usually stay within that same range unless tied to a notable error. High-grade certified coins, however, continue to appreciate slowly as registry competition grows and the supply of top-condition coins remains fixed. Collector demand for the Bicentennial Quarter comes from several groups. Type collectors want one example to represent the historic design change. Date and mint collectors seek both Philadelphia and Denver issues. Error collectors hunt for dramatic mistakes. Registry set builders chase the highest graded examples available. This layered demand creates a stable collector base that supports long-term value growth. The top two rare and most valuable examples within this category remain ultra-high-grade mint state survivors and dramatic mint error pieces with clear visual impact. Both categories command attention, bidding wars, and premium prices whenever they surface on the open market. 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower $1 coin, D-mint fine condition. The Eisenhower dollar carries a different kind of energy and historical weight. Introduced in 1971, it honored President Dwight D. Eisenhower, Supreme Allied Commander during World War II and the 34th President of the United States. The reverse originally celebrated the Apollo 11 moon landing, symbolizing American technological achievement and exploration. When the bicentennial arrived, the Eisenhower dollar also received a special reverse design, featuring the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon, merging revolutionary heritage with modern achievement. The dual date 1776 to 1976 replaced the traditional single year, marking the nation's bicentennial milestone. The Denver Mint produced large quantities of these dollars for circulation, although heavy public resistance to large dollar coins limited their everyday use. Many were saved as souvenirs, but countless others were stored loosely, leading to contact marks and were even without heavy circulation. In fine condition, a Denver Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar shows noticeable wear on Eisenhower's cheek, jawline, and hair, with softer details on the Liberty Bell and moon. The coin still retains its overall design clarity, but lacks sharpness and original luster. Typical fine examples trade close to face value or slightly above, but once again, rarity emerges through condition, errors, and standout varieties. One of the top rare and valuable categories for the Eisenhower dollar lies in high-grade mint state coins with exceptional eye appeal. Large dollar coins are especially prone to bag marks because of their size and weight, causing surface nicks and abrasions during transport and storage. Finding a Denver Bicentennial Ike dollar in MS66 or MS67 condition is surprisingly difficult. MS66 examples can sell for several $100s, while MS67 coins can exceed $2,000 when certified and verified by major grading services. These pieces attract registry collectors who compete fiercely for top population examples. The second major category of rarity comes from mint errors and striking anomalies. One notable error includes off-metal strikes, where the coin was struck on an incorrect planchet. Although extremely rare, confirmed off-metal Eisenhower dollars have sold for several $1,000s due to their uniqueness and dramatic nature. Another valuable error type is major off-center strikes, particularly those that still show full date and mint mark. These can bring anywhere from $500 to $3,000 depending on severity and visual impact. Double-die varieties also exist on some Eisenhower dollars, though they are subtle and require magnification to confirm. Doubling may appear in the lettering of Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the dual date. When properly attributed, these varieties attract specialists and can range from $150 to $800 depending on clarity and grading. Clipped planchets, broad strikes, and partial collar errors are also collected actively in the Ike Dollar series. Because of the coin's large diameter, these errors are visually dramatic and popular among error collectors. Prices vary widely based on size, condition, and aesthetic appeal. Design symbolism plays a powerful role in collector demand. The Liberty Bell represents American independence and resilience, while the moon beneath it echoes the Apollo missions and national ambition. The fusion of these two images creates one of the most unique reverse designs in modern U.S. coinage. Eisenhower's portrait adds presidential and military legacy appeal, making the coin attractive to history enthusiasts beyond traditional coin collectors. The Denver Bicentennial Eisenhower Dollar is composed of copper-nickel-clad layers over a copper core. Like the quarter, only special collector versions from San Francisco contain silver. Understanding this distinction helps collectors avoid overpaying for standard circulation strikes based on silver misconceptions. Mintage numbers for the Denver Bicentennial Ike Dollar exceed 82 million coins, which sounds high but is relatively modest compared to small denomination coins. However, survival in pristine condition remains limited due to storage damage and handling. Many coins sat in bank bags or mint packaging that caused friction and contact marks. Market values for circulated and fine-condition examples remain modest, often between $1 and $3 depending on eye appeal. However, certified high-grade examples show consistent appreciation over time. Error coins and top-grade registry examples often sell quickly when offered, indicating strong underlying demand. Collector demand comes from several sectors. Ike Dollar enthusiasts seek complete date and mint sets. Bicentennial collectors want examples tied to the 200th anniversary. Error collectors chase dramatic mint mistakes. Presidential and historical collectors appreciate Eisenhower's legacy and the moon landing symbolism. This diversified interest base supports long-term collectability. The top two rare and most valuable examples in this category remain ultra-high-grade mint state survivors with exceptional surfaces and major mint error coins that display unmistakable anomalies. These coins represent the peak of desirability and investment-grade potential within the Bicentennial Eisenhower Dollar series. Together, the Bicentennial Quarter and Eisenhower Dollar capture a moment when America celebrated its past while looking boldly toward the future. What appears to be ordinary pocket change can quietly hold layers of history, artistry, and financial potential. For collectors, every coin becomes a small time capsule, waiting to be discovered, studied, and preserved for the next generation.